Hi Pisces, here's a general look at your solar chart for August 2012, and there's a very practical feel to this month, and so it's going to be more about the material aspects and the physical aspects of your life here on Earth that are going to be highlighted, and you might have to be dealing with more niggly details or chores, keeping to certain schedules and routines a little bit more. Or this may be the moment that you get to grips with a health issue, yours or somebody else's, or better diet and exercise regime. And you may also be having to put effort into maintenance or applying your teaching or advisory skills, or getting on with a project that's close to your heart, which might be an artistic one maybe. So definitely dealing with the to-do list and getting things running smoothly this month, but it looks like you will have help or good advice. Very much there's a sense of being of service to others actually, and putting yourself out for others and providing, you know, whatever they need, or some of what they need. And also the position of Mercury, it's very much maintenance orientated, where the Sun and Mercury are. So it might mean that conversations will be around the practical daily chores, repairs, maintenance, correspondence, general paperwork, and or health, yours or another's. And there could be postponements or crosswires in the first 8 days, because that's when Mercury's going retrograde, and that's usually the deal with Mercury when it's going retrograde. But dealing with the mechanical details of daily life, there will be ideas about that, conversations about that, disagreements sometimes about that, but also you could be getting ahead around things and learning useful new skills as well, or teaching somebody else useful new skills so that perhaps they can help you out a little bit more. Now, this lovely energy, this warm energy, is still in the foundations of your solar chart, and this can manifest in various ways. It's going to be there until August the 8th. This means getting more access perhaps to more socializing in the locality, right in your own backyard, you know, or not very far away, but also getting more access to the beauties of nature and appreciating that, appreciating what you have more, in the way of relationships in the neighborhood or a community, or in fact with nature or with your space inside or outside. Perhaps some of you are decorating and making it more beautiful and more how you'd like it. Or you are actually out there digging the garden and make that how you like it, or you're setting up the pots of plants on your windowsill, or whatever it is. And it's a good time for you to benefit materially from property as well, or from working at home or from home, and connecting with others over the wires. But also connecting with nature and connecting with your nature and what is planted deep within you, deep in your psyche, where you're anchored. So this position of Venus is actually potentially wonderful to harmonize you, to help you feel balance within you. And so that's something you can really appreciate and really get a lot out of. So you could be enjoying your surroundings, or you could be somewhere temporarily maybe where you're enjoying the surroundings more, and being with people that you're hanging out with that you're enjoying and you can appreciate, and they're appreciating you, and you feel support coming from them. And as Venus is about money as well, it could be that something to do with the locality or the home is potentially money making for you. The most obvious way that can work is working from home, but there are other ways. And it might not just be money, it might be just useful resources that are the equivalent of money to you, you know. And then from the 8th, as I say, Venus moves, and then it moves into this area which is more playful, not so inward and sort of in your shell sort of thing, but more outward, and it's to do with children and fun, and it's also to do with romance, and you and someone could be sharing admiring glances with each other, who knows, and it just means more you feeling more valued, there being more laughs along the way, and a good time to sort of put yourself out there and join in with the fun, whatever the fun is about. And in general, you'll have more access to leisure activities as well, or maybe entertaining. You're surrounded by more entertainment, and just feeling, more empowered, and smiles not being too far away. Now, Jupiter stays in the part of the chart that Venus is leaving on the 8th, so that means for several months to come you will have this stabilizing influence at the heart, or at the root of your life, at the foundations of your life. Jupiter will act similarly, although it's not at all the same vibe, but similarly to Venus, which is that wherever you're anchored, it will. If you've been in the wrong place, or in a place where it's been jangling your nerves, or there's something about it, it will just help you to sort of bed in and feel more equilibrium within, and more peaceful at the roots of your life. So that's altogether a good thing. Now, until the 24th, Mars will be helping you to process what's going on inside of you. There's been a lot going on inside of you because you've been shifting gears emotionally, probably, but also maybe financially, materially, shifting gears from one sort of standpoint or habit to another. So you've been shifting gears inwardly, but also you've probably been shifting gears outwardly as well. Finances and property, or certain contracts or agreements, could be an area where you have to weigh things up and perhaps tread a little bit more carefully, but also an area where you and someone can have a joint share, as long as both sides are clear about the expectations of the other side, and what the rules are, where the boundary line is, what the priorities are as well. Also, it could be time for you to throw your energies into a joint project with someone else, or a venture which relies upon someone else's endorsement or contribution, or maybe you have done already, and maybe there's something in you which is a little bit frustrated because you haven't got the control that you'd like. Maybe you've got to rely on somebody else's contribution, but you would prefer not to, because you've got to come up to their rules, you've got to come up to their expectations, or be preoccupied with their property, their money, their space. So it's not, you don't have a free hand here, and you really, over this time here, there's certain things that you've got to keep the lid on. There's certain things you've got to keep quiet about, whether that's related to monetary things, the income, or the property, or the space, or the contribution company. You've just got to keep quiet about something. And so, as I say, there's a lot going on inside you. You're sensitive to certain people. You may be feeling that others are being manipulative or controlling towards you. You're just guarded, and that's the way it is here. But your intuition will be working super well, and you will sense your way forwards. You will be holding the lantern of your gut knowing before you, and it will shine a light on the path before you, so you can make each footstep with security as you go forwards. And really, this Mars position is going to take you from one stretch of road to the next. It's going to, because you will come up against something that you would really rather you'd really rather have more control, then you're going to find a way of working around it, so you do get the more control quite happily, and then you can emphasize that rather than what's been there at the beginning of the transit, maybe, which is that you've been feeling a bit obliged, or you're in a commitment somehow or other. And anyway, you will get this feeling of balance coming in here, and Mars is going to see you through from what this. If it's a spiral, the lower level of the spiral to the next level of the spiral, but Jupiter is going to be helping to stabilize things, the position of Jupiter over these months. And Mars is only here until the 24th, and then he moves. Just for your information, around mid-month there's a slowing energy happening when Mars goes across Saturn, and that means that you might feel that there's more on your shoulders there, or you feel frustrated or exasperated, or you just have a sort of an energy blip, but there's a little bit more pressure on you connected with the position of Mars, that I was talking about just a minute ago. But it will maybe give you a reality check, and it will help you to consolidate, and it's a very, very brief transit there. And then you can start going forwards more quickly when Mars is come out the other side, which is around about 16th, starts picking up speed there again. And it's only for about 4 days. From the 24th, you will begin to feel a lot less inward, introverted, introspective, and more outgoing, freer. It's almost as though this weight lifts, and enthusiastic about things. And from the 22nd, you will be compromising, or a partnership or professional relationship could demand more sensitivity, perhaps, or not so much sensitivity, but engagement from you. Okay, so it will be very much you teaming up with somebody else, and really it'll be about the interaction between you. And that's it for August. If you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then find those and listen to the forecast for those. Also, if you go to my website, I am told that the slower moving outer planets, what I've written about those, it is now there. Sorry if it wasn't before, it should have been. And you can sort of set this and what you glean from your rising sign or your moon sign against what they're doing, if you haven't done that already and you don't know about it already. Then you can make some sense and get a sort of an outline of what might be coming up over August. And I wish you well, and I'll see you the next time.